and gives member to create a safe viewing experience by following our committee double standards. Oh, yes, it's the Atheist Underground. Flying solo this week. Who's going to be the first one on? Huh? Who's going to be the first one joining today? We're notifying viewers that you went live. You know they don't notify anybody, man. I swear. And we're on YouTube, too. Keep going. I'm so shadow banned. Jim, what's up, man? Thanks for swinging by. I got kicked off 2 weeks ago for saying schmay. I said quite factually that Richard Chamberlain was schmay. You can't even say the word, I guess, without getting kicked off anymore because I wasn't throwing shade. I wasn't being mean. I wasn't, any of that crap. Nick Stetler, David is up. City Girl, Gamer Tiger. See, Gamer with a Y. See, you got away with it there because you added a syllable. But I get Richard Chamberlain, famously out, I think, in a day. It wasn't even a big deal. But yeah, TikTok, they got an algorithm. They're watching what you say. You can't say stuff in the way that I say it, and man, they kicked me right off. But that was 2 weeks ago. They usually kick you off for a week. And I traveled down to North Carolina last week to bring my kids back, so it wasn't around. Foggy Buzzard, love that name, buddy. T-Ramp 87, Brack joined. Yeah, we started this channel a long time ago to try to normalize atheistic thought and kind of make a safe place for secular thinking and a place where you can make fun of religion and and not be smacked down for it like you might be around the dinner table. If you got one of those parents who thinks that God is real and tries to make you go to church, this is where you come. We can talk, we can be cool, we can realize that there's a lot of people out there that don't really give much of a shit about religion, even if they sort of believe in God and in kind of an agnostic way. It's not centerpiece of their lives, and they'd rather get on with the struggle, right? And get on with trying to raise their kids and make money and deal with all the bullshit that we have to deal with in society without thinking about eternal punishment or guilt and fear. Aren't the Western religions sick? Isn't it disgusting the way that they've evolved to center around guilt and fear and punishment? There's something psychologically really, really abusive about that whole trope that I don't feel like we see necessarily in native religions, fringe religions, naturalistic religions, and a lot of Eastern philosophies. But yeah, the big three of Western religions, those spawned by OG Judaism, especially, I don't even include Judaism in that category very much anymore. It's really about the two biggies, right? Islam and Christianity. And you can't even say, I usually say Islam because I get kicked off just for mentioning those people, the geniuses that are behind that. Yes, God will dole out a serious chastisement upon you if you don't just follow these rules, man. What the hell? Unemployed final boss? What does that mean? Bro, I refuse to indoctrinate my son like I was good. Woke white man. That's good. That's how the cycle is broken. And unfortunately, just like with other kinds of abuse, the emotional and spiritual abuse of religion is something that people have a hard time escaping if it was done to them. That's I feel lucky to have gone to a fairly progressive, fairly liberal mainline Protestant sect of Christianity in the day where they didn't really preach fire and brimstone. They didn't really lean into the punishment, and the thing was more about, Jesus was a good example of a guy, try to live like a guy, not a jerk, really, and it was easy for me intellectually to leave, but I didn't have parents that were terribly judgmental either, or they made sure I went to church growing up. I think they thought it was valuable in some level, but as soon as I started questioning, my dad was like, yeah, okay, I see that. My mom kind of, if she ever got a little more progressive with her religion, she went right backwards after their divorce in the early 80s and the advent of the Reagan era and the blue cloak-coated little blonde schmazzies that came behind him and kind of revamped society and kind of ripped it out of the hippie dream died, right, with Reagan. And the whole born-again crap, it ruined Christianity in America. and it continues to ruin Christianity in a really embarrassing way. Not only by leaning into the punishment and fear and the black and white of the whole thing, but by dumbing down the theology. There used to be room for intellectual discussion about the nature of Scripture and these old myths that have guided our Western existence for 2,000 years or slightly less. And that all went away with the megachurch and um, people who want simple answers, right? Just follow this, just do this, and you're part of us. You're not part of them if you do that. It's really kind of embarrassing, right? And what happened to the church where Bible study might have been an argument? I'm pretty sure there was an atheist in every damn church I grew up in. And they were there for community, and they were there because um, you could talk about your interpretation of such. Geeka Benoit 4Y1. Yeah, great username. What the hell is that? There's two choices: God or absurdity. The one is just saying about black and white. Here's an example. Great thought there. You got a real emotional depth with that one. There's two choices: God or absurdity. No, the God concept itself is absurd. Anything that anyone tries to promote without any evidence at all is irrational. It's and there's plenty of successful people with irrational beliefs, and that's a big one, right? And chances are you wouldn't feel that way if you hadn't have been indoctrinated. You probably didn't come to it by any other way. But thanks for the gifts. Saludos, Saul, what's up, man? My guy, how you doing? You believe evidence? Yeah, well, that's the nature of evidence. Is it's something that you can verify and experiment on and look at it. So yeah, do I believe evidence? The thing about evidence is it's evidence whether you believe it or not. Just like science, you don't need to believe it; it's still true, right? I mean, if you believe in God and there's no evidence, then it's just a concept. It's just a thought, and it might be true. It's just the least plausible idea. So good luck with that. You can spend your life wasting it pretending that the truth based on the myths. That's okay with me. I'm not getting that guy. If that's what it takes to get you to sleep at night, then good for you. Going to church as a kid made me an atheist. Yeah, I think I wouldn't say it made me an atheist, but it definitely contributed. We're on YouTube as well, people. YouTube is right there. Follow us on YouTube. I don't know what the problem is. We gotta maybe because I don't put any content on there except for trying to go live every week. But if I can get to, I need like 30 or 40 more followers, and we can get to 1,000, and then we can go live from the street and do fun things like street epistemology. My backpack crashes to the ground over here. But yeah, please follow us on YouTube. What is truth? Truth is subjective, my friend. Facts aren't. You can have your own truth, but you can't make up your own facts. Thank you, Andre. You're handsome too, buddy. Love you. Appreciate it. Peter Jensen is with us. Thanks for the gifts, Andre. Before AF3, thanks for the follow. Follow us on YouTube too. Facts are facts. Like I said, truth is subjective, but facts are facts. Scrolling back through the comments here. Appreciate you guys following us. I'm flying alone tonight. Old David is busy working on our Superman review. Saw Superman last week, and we do reviews on YouTube as well. It's the Grail Guys Presents Cinema Jones and the last movie, Crusade. Grail Guys or Cinema Jones will get you there. We rate movies on a Grail scale of a Dixie cup to a golden or a crystal chalice, the Holy Grail. Get it? See, it's a whole bit based on Last Crusade with the Grail Knight when he says, "You have chosen wisely." He chose poorly. Thank you, cutie. You're so fine too. Love you. Scarlet Graces. Hi. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being an old guy who was always a player. Not to put it lightly, but yeah, it's rough. It's rough aging and feeling like you're 17 out there because I got a girlfriend who I love and I'm never going to I'm never gonna cheat on her. She's fantastic. But yeah, I do. I miss the days. Uh, did you see it on Friday? Yeah, it was great. I don't know what the backlash about it being too woke. You see the incels out there and all the podcasters who are like, um, I don't get it. It's back to he had a mandate to reboot, and the Man of Steel was so bad. Zack Snyder's vision of Superman was so fucking bad. I cannot talk enough about how bad Man of Steel was. I didn't even really hate the other ones that much. Batman v Superman. It was weird that like such a tough ass Superman got straight up killed by Batman in a suit. That was dumb. But the action was dope, and the stories weren't that bad, even though it was straight ripped off out of Marvel. The Mother Box. It was like, okay, let's just rename the Tesseract. Stupid. But yeah, Man of Steel was a piece of shit. I mean, he had every opportunity with all the CGI and all the ability to like remake a definitive Superman, and he didn't. The 1978 Richard Donner version was Christopher Reeve is still the definitive Superman with the origin story and and the quick tight plot at the end. And this one different. You can't. It doesn't have the origin story. We don't need it. What's up, Seth? How you doing, bud? Gigi. Yeah, here you can get a big one. How about this? Whoa, diesel whistle in the house. Cat, how you doing? What was woke was that it seemed like, well, he was weaker, right? He was getting beat up. He was losing fights. He's bloody. And he's sensitive. He was about saving people. This is back to the beginning. This is what Superman was like. He was a Boy Scout. He didn't swear. He didn't really kill people if he didn't have to. He was about saving people and minimizing damage, right? And the whole thing with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman was that Batman was upset that he just destroyed Metropolis. He just like randomly had a fight with Zod and just crushed and killed everything everywhere and didn't care. And that's really, that's kind of not Superman canon. But the woke part is people see it as an allegory for Palestine with the one country, with tanks and weapons and superior technology and money and everything, going to come across the border and just crush these poor citizens of the other half of the country. Yeah, okay. But why did the guy have a Russian accent then? It was as much as a Ukraine allegory as a Palestine. Well, who cares? Who cares? You can't enjoy a movie without ascribing some fucking political statement to it. I don't get it at all. No, James Gunn rebooted Superman to be a sweet guy who just wants to be human, right? In a Pinocchio kind of way. He wants to be a real boy. And it frustrates him that he's still cast as an alien and he's hated for being an alien, just for being an alien. Okay, maybe that's woke, right? Because it kind of indicted the whole Agent Orange immigration fiasco that we got going on there. And, we'll get to talk about that too, because that shit is funny. I'll tell you what, the dog, that was the best CGI animal I've ever seen. It was funny, and I'm not a guy who normally goes for gimmicks like that in movies, but it worked. It worked on nearly every level. I was really blown away with how good the dog looked. It looked like a damn dog. I love the way they just, here they are, the other superheroes that were already there, and the fact that they were corporatized too, another sly, slick reference. But I love the odes to the original, the odes to the '78 movie with him walking down the street, spilling his coffee and bumping into people. The old, the top of the Daily Planet and that set, the door, all that. There were so many parallels. Even the credits, they look the same, a slightly updated version of the same credit style, opening credits and title sequences that were. And after you could tell, he loves that movie and really, really, really respects it highly. And I thought that was very clever. All the way down to him saving the woman on the bridge when her car doesn't start, her car won't start. That was a complete nod to the more central plot device in the original, or in the '78 version, where he has to save Margot Kidder. She can't start her car to try to back it out of the fissure in the ground from the earthquake. Here it's a fissure from an interdimensional rift or whatever they caused. So it was just kind of updated to modern tech. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, do you feel like it really was kind of a real dog, and they did a slick job of using a real dog as a model and then CGIing it up, I guess, for the stuff they needed. But all of that was great. I had no real issue with it. It made me a little uncomfortable that Superman was bleeding, but I respect the choices. And without giving any spoilers away, there's a real reason. And it was a good reason as far as these types of fictions go. There was a real reason he was losing those battles. And Nicholas Hoult, best Lex Luthor. I mean, Gene Hackman was great, but in a limited way. He was always kind of Gene Hackman, wasn't he? With his little snicker. And he was fabulous. But looking back on it, I don't even think there was a punch thrown in that 78 version. He didn't beat up anybody. And at least in the end, this Superman gets to kick some ass. Some teeth hit the lens, which I love. But again, I'm over here alone on YouTube. Join us on YouTube if you're out there. Follow us, even if you don't use it. Follow me on YouTube. It's Atheist Underground. So we can get to 1,000 followers, please. Maybe Luthor was supposed to be in Moscow. I think there was a lot of, in general, kind of just tech billionaires that were taking shots and the corporatization of this and that. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't know. I don't try to break movies down in terms of what are they trying to say politically with this, unless it's like really obviously that the movie was made just for that. And again, that's not always bad either. Sometimes we need that, right? Art influences culture, and sometimes we need Hollywood to set things a little bit right. Sometimes they go right off the rails with it, don't they? I feel like Lex Luthor was a big part of the movies was that your humanity is what makes you strong, right? And even Lex Luthor, he's in the end, his humanity comes out and his human frailty and failings, and he admits it and talks about it. And I thought, again, he was just the best Lois Lane ever. I love Rachel Brosnahan, and she brought it, smart, sassy. I don't know why Amy Adams couldn't have dyed her hair. Everybody knows Lois. You're gonna the comics. Lois Lane's a brunette. That's the way it is. I don't know why we need to change that. The best depiction of his parents ever. Those two were hilarious. Sing me a song, Join. Sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough. Is that the Carpenters? Yeah, Carpenters. Isn't it? R.I.P. Karen Carpenter. Sad about that, right? But anyway, yeah, we started talking about movies, but I haven't been on TikTok in forever. I haven't posted a video. I just kind of feel a little let down by TikTok, and a little uninspired by the whole atheist movement is kind of bitten the dust, man. It was gaining traction, and then it attached itself to the woke left, which really turns people off. It turns leftists off, like me. I'm not woke. I don't buy that bullshit where you gotta tell people how to talk. I'm too old for that crap. And you don't win any followers. They're on the right side of history with social justice warriors and people wanting to feel respected for who they are, and people wanting to be called what they want to be called. I don't have a problem with any of that. Identifying themselves as however they want. Why is that my problem? It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect society. And the people that are threatened by that have latency issues, I think. I don't know what any of that is. Why do you care what somebody calls themselves? Why do you care how somebody identifies sexually or sexually orientatively? I don't know what it is that. Mark S. preaching on the train. Where's my whistle? There it is. No preaching on the train, idiot. Jesus doesn't love anybody. He's dead. Shave the goatee. Huh? Shave the goatee. I'm growing it back now. I shaved it off because my son and I went dressed as Lex Luthor and Clark Kent. Cosplay at the movies, my friends. It was lit. It was so fun. Wore a suit and looked evil. Shaved my face. Shaved my la peloncha. Yeah, and he's got hair still, and it's pretty dark. And he put a Superman T-shirt on under his shirt. It's the attempt to normalize degeneracy. Oh, see, now you're judging people. What makes something a degenerate? See, I think religion is degenerate. I think telling people what to do with their own lives is degenerate. What makes any of that degenerate to you? You know, that's just creepy, buddy. Mind your own fucking business. Ooh, degenerates, degenerates, degenerates. Throwing shade on people for being who they are. You know, religion's not evil. It's just myth guided. Get it? Oh, yeah. Religion's not evil. Just myth guided. I like to say that. Of course, it can be evil. It's, you know, the way people use it makes it evil. I think religion itself is a you know, another attempt at community. Yeah, big Trump guy. Yeah, we didn't talk about that yet. What a fuck show this is now, man. You know what? If there's nothing in the files and it's not a big deal, then fucking release them. There's so clearly something in there that he doesn't want people to see. Otherwise, what's the fucking deal? Release them. Say, here, look, here they are. Nothing to look at here. Instead, he's like, calling people stupid on his side of the thing where he's like losing his base. And he's losing his base not over that shit too. He's losing it over the immigration shit because he's just such an asshole with it. What? Throwing people in other countries that are not even from just so we can make a deal with that country and get something out of it. People aren't on board with it, man. 40% of people. It's going down, going down. We'll see if he's done enough damage to like fuck us up forever, which he maybe had. But yeah. Oh, they're really, yeah. Well, okay. Does that make up for the horror that they went through? Kathy, what's up? Nunya, Northern Rail fan. Thanks for the gifts. What's up? Donald Brown. Downtown Donald Brown. Yeah, well, at the Atheist Underground when we made it up. Thank you, Northern Rail, for asking. I am a train fan. My grandpa and my great grandpa worked in Altoona. Grew up and worked in Altoona for the Pennsylvania Railroad, and so as a little kid, that was some of my earliest memories, was getting to go into the train yards and going on the overpasses and looking down across these unimaginably big train yards and roundhouses, and I've never gotten out of my blood. But really, the bit here is that when we started the old podcast, we were trying to think of a name. Somebody threw out Atheist Underground, reminded me of the London Underground, which is their train system, and also the Underground Railway, right? And I imagined us escorting people out of psychological emancipation, which is essentially what religion is, right? You've put your mind in jail once you subscribe to dogma, right? Dogma is one of the most evil things that's ever come down the pike, in my opinion. Pretending that things that we know aren't provably true are true, and then you know, making rules for behavior, and a liturgy of ritualistic processes for people to cling to or become part of the out group. It's disgusting to me as a creative person and as an individual and a nonconformist and an iconoclast and a rule breaker. I can't abide any of that. It's really, really bad. What's up, man? It's the low. Lawrence is with us. What's up, man? You're the only dude. My guy's gone today, and I'm just trying to get subscribers on YouTube. So please, if you're here on TikTok, take a second, find Atheist Underground on YouTube and subscribe. Even if you don't go back, just get me to 1,000, please. I appreciate it so much. We really got big plans for that going forward. Right now is the height of my season, and I got issues at work, and it's really stressful and ugly. And my girlfriend going through some health issues, going to be fine, but you know, a lot of distractions that have kept me from being the creator on social media that I want to be. But we'll get back to that. What's up, Catherine? How you doing? Catherine with AC. We got air conditioning? Good. You need it. It's summer. Man, it's been hot here It was nice the last few days, but woo, we got 100 degrees coming on Wednesday, according to the forecast. You see Marjorie Taylor, Garbagey Trailer Queen, excuse me, I won't call her by her name. Garbagey Trailer Queen introducing a bill to stop them from changing the weather with chemtrails. Name a single big plan. Well, no, I want to revamp the YouTube so that I'm actually posting shorts there instead of TikTok, which has become a piece of shit. As you know, I don't know how long you've been on YouTube or TikTok, and it's just, but you made a go of it on YouTube, and it's just about a switch in my routine, right? So, and I want to do what I don't know if you ever were able to do it and go and fuck with street preachers, right? And taking YouTube on the street requires 1,000 followers. You can't do it on TikTok because you get kicked off. I can't. Thanks, man. No, yeah, well, probably that's what it is. It's something you can't catch from people, but she'll be fine. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Milwaukee Atheists, find them on YouTube too and on TikTok. And if you like rooting out the real meaning behind Scripture, he's your guy. He's not coming at it with any preconceived conclusions like religions do. Isn't it the best when people, they already think they know God is real, and then they spend their day trying to fucking prove it by twisting and bending science and making these philosophical circular arguments. Gotcha, atheist. Why do you need to prove it, buddy? Why do you need to prove it? You know what they say? Is it Revelations? Tell me, Lawrence. If you're going to be, you need to either be hot or cold, right? If you're a lukewarm Christian, God will spit you out of his mouth. Maybe Romans. You can tell me. But yeah, one of my favorite biblical quotes, because when people try to prove that their belief in an irrational myth is true, it just speaks to their lack of actual faith. It's the point of faith. You don't require proof. Once you start trying to prove it, you're like doubting Thomas, right? There's a whole parable in the Bible about doubting. Just believe, man. Don't question. Don't try to prove it. Don't look for evidence. Just believe. Just believe what people say. Right? Always killed me too. It's like Jesus is like, okay, here you go, asshole. But why? Why don't you just believe people? Well, that's a genius fucking lesson for life, isn't it? A lot of wisdom in the ancient books. A lot of wisdom. If the Bible was just Proverbs, I would probably recommend it for everybody. There's shit in there in Proverbs. It's just like, okay, there's some wisdom we just forgot about in the age of the pocket rectangle that's sucking everybody in and making incels as fast as it can. Thanks, Hashley fan club. Love you. Hashley's with us. Bonafide weird quiet guy. What's up, man? She recently spoke out against Israel. Who did? You get that same shirt? Thanks. I need some new T-shirts, man. I was just telling the GF today. I got to get to some stores and pick up some new T-shirts. The Northern Rail. So why a fan of Northern Rail? That's a specific rail company, right? Are they better than the other rail, companies? Like, I'm a train guy, but I lost my model trains. I don't really have them anymore. I lost them in a robbery, and so a lot of things. If I was rich, I'd get back to all that. Northern Rail fan grew up evangelical. Now he's an anti-theist. Yeah, that'll do that to people, won't it? Is that why? Tell us what happened to you. Love to hear the story. Arch Radish, what's up, man? Plenty of fables in children's books. That's true. And plenty of fables in children's books, and a lot of them have a good moral. Just go out and read Aesop. There's religion for you. Aesop. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that guy. I think there's lots of historical wisdom in the old texts. I don't just discount the Bible. It's the way that people use the Bible or lean on it for every fucking answer to everything. It's like going back to, it's like reading your Ford manual for every car you ever get for the rest of time. Oh, there's always an answer in the Bible. Yeah, if you want to call it an answer. It's like looking backwards through a telescope. That's what overstudying the Bible is in terms of its actual theology. See, my guy Lawrence goes as a secular person and dissects the ancient texts in their original language and tries to come up with what they actually meant from that viewpoint, right? Not from that of someone who believes the bunk already, because it's been misinterpreted, it's been mistaught, it's been used for people's personal wants and wishes when it comes to molding society. All this anti-gay bullshit, all this fucking, it's all from a book that was written for a morality that applied 1,500 to 3,000 years ago, or whatever the actual dates are. It's not relevant today. Almost none of it is relevant, but some of it is, right? Go read Proverbs. Some of it's just like obvious, right? But to try to cast it as truth somehow when we know where it came from, that's the other thing. It's like, if it really was like the oldest book, that was ever written, and it's always been around since before the first person could remember. Like it was always just there on a shelf for whoever found it, and it turned into whatever language you spoke when you opened it. Then you might have a case, but we know where it came from. We know where the myths began. We know, thanks to modern discoveries, we know that it was largely plagiarized or copied or paraphrased into new myths that fit the society that it was meant to be aimed at. It's not brain surgery, people. It's not. And if you think differently than that, it's just because you were indoctrinated. I think the Bible's true. The Bible's the word of God. Bible. This is Mike Johnson schmuck in Congress. What a piece of fucking latent shit that guy is. He just, God, does he creep me out, man. I'm waiting for those guys to get busted down at the Rainbow Bar. Lindsey Graham and Mike Johnson having an evening. Hey, you want to see my world? You just read the Bible, read the Bible, read the Bible. And I heard one of the senators today when they're questioning about Epstein. He's like, well, I'm not going to have to answer. In the end, I'm not going to have to answer to you or my family or the president. I'm going to answer to my maker. Really? Okay. And what if you die and there's nothing there, buddy, and you're just dead? You're not going to answer to shit. Answer to my maker. Of course, there's a reason why they won't release the list. Well, if there was really nothing on it, they would just release it. But instead, he's got to demonize his own people who are asking for him to stand by what he said he was going to do and drain the swamp and not let elites get away with whatever they wanted to. Right? This is all Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew and whoever else was liberal and left. They were hanging out with Epstein. Yeah. Now it turns out that Agent Orange knew, the first felon, the national pig. He knew and was implicitly involved, I think, with the letter, right? That's coming out. I don't. First of all, I don't draw. Yeah, that's not hard to believe. His hands are too small to hold a pencil, for one thing. But if there was nothing in there, they'd release him. If the whole thing's a joke, it's obfuscation, redirection, trying to open Alcatraz and making a fucking scene about that. It's the stupidest idea ever. Doesn't even hold that many people. And they're gonna like spend zillions of dollars. Oh, but he's about getting rid of government waste, right? Sweet Fancy Moses, what's up? Graham Oldfield, what's up? Blinkers, how you doing today? Thanks, Josh. Resist. Thanks for the lightning bolt, my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Jose P, thank you. Yeah, MTG, Garbagey Trailer Queen. If there was nothing there, why is Maxwell in jail? Yeah, Guylaine, right? Well, because she's a criminal. That's why she's in jail, and an enabler of a schmapist, if not a plain old violator herself. Kevin Rubix, what's up, man? Where you been? Kevin 9865. Lislar Knicks. Lislar Knicks. That's a good one. That's a nice name. It's a Lislar. Lislar Knicks. His favorite band is Styx. How about the dude on Kiss Cam, right? How much of a scumbag do you have to be to cheat on your wife, get busted at a Coldplay concert? He's like, his wife's not only like had to listen to whatever bullshit he had that he was doing, but then find out he went to a Coldplay concert with one of the biggest bands in the world. Maybe you don't love Coldplay, but and maybe she doesn't, I guess. But I don't know how you like. Okay, the hub's going to Coldplay. Why isn't he taking me? Yeah, what a fuck up. Dude's already fired, man. And the fact that it was the head of HR. How's she not going to get fired too, right? Head of HR. Well, shit where you eat, man. Oh, is there workplace shenanigans going on? Oh, but I got busted making out with the boss. Kiss Cam, I love it. Right? And Chris Martin got all over it, right? He was like they're having an affair. Gianna Maria. Now it's 2025. What's up, Harriet the Tubbs? Harriet Tubman is with us. The Tubbs is here. What's going on? Creations by Low. What's up, Low? How you doing? Get down on your hands and knees and twerk that thing backwood, Bobby. Gordon Van Gogh. All right, I don't know what the hell that means. Gordon Von Gogh. Von Gogh. Oops. Rolling back. We lost the supposed 14-year-old. That was weird. Oh, hey, Gordon. Oh, yeah. We saw your comment. Did you think there's degenerates? Those are people like, if it turns you off, it's degeneracy, right? Latent. Got issues. Oh, I didn't. Transylvania. I didn't see you there. I missed a few people. Sorry about that. If you wanted to. If you wanted to whistle or if you wanted me to shout out your name, go ahead. I'm scrolling all the way back through the comments. Do not end the book early because of a bad page. Catholic. I'm not sure what any of that means. Yeah, I don't kink shame. You kidding me? Please. I'm not terribly kinky, but I wouldn't want anyone shaming my minor kinks. Making fun of me because I have a foot fetish. Come on. Gothic Brood. No, you're good. I don't mind jokes. No, I didn't take that the wrong way. It's just that was bizarre. Backwood Bobby. I do love that. My name's Rob. So I thought maybe you knew that and you were talking about me. Chicken leg Stan. Chicken leg Stan. How about Tiny Hands Trump? We're living through the small penis energy era of America, folks. Welcome to it. Everything is about overcompensation and insecurity. And now he's got chronic venous insufficiently. I keep waiting for him to come out and say, hey, my venous works fine. My venous is plenty sufficient. He's got a small weenie. He's got an Epsteiny weenie. Epsteiny weenie. I feel like that's the people who need to use like an Epstein style service, whatever the fuck that was. That's dudes who just got no Mac. You can't even talk to women out in public, even though you're rich and powerful. You still gotta join the creep show to get your whatever on. That's awful. What's up, Katie? How you doing? Tell me something good, Gordon. What's up? Y4 Yay? Y4 Yay is here. How you been, Katie? I'll give you a big toot. Oh! Lawrence Split. He was on YouTube. But trying to get people to join up on YouTube, trying to get people to follow our movie review show. David and I have a movie review show. Great. The Grail Guys on YouTube. Look for the Grail Guys on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Hit that smash button. Comment on our reviews. We reviewed Superman. That one will be dropping pretty soon. And sometimes we do other fun stuff like The Devil's Advocate, where one of us has to shit on a movie that he likes or probably likes after the other one says why it's one of the greatest movies. What the hell else going on in the news? That's a lot, right? I mean, fucking hey, the Epstein thing, inflation's up. Yeah, genius. The tariffs finally are starting to take hold, and thanks. It's been a couple of weeks, Katie, since I've been here. Dirt Knuckles is with us. Yeah, I was down in North Carolina last week, and it's always like running the gauntlet of weird, bizarre crosses on the side of the road. The people that have like 3 big, giant, skinny crosses in their hillbilly yard, and when the middle one's painted yellow, I don't know what that means. Yellow, like the coward color. I don't know what that is, but I see more than one, and they're really skinny and tall. And I guess maybe so you can see them from the highway. But they make sure they got 3 out there, and the middle one painted yellow. I don't know why. Skiff SK lifts 1 ski lifts, right? What's up? Well, I don't blame you there, bonafide weird guy, but I feel like it's fun to wait for the next thing that he does that might blow him out of the water, because it's only a matter of time, right? It's been like 6 months and he's embarrassed himself 50 times. Remember when he told the Liberian dude a couple of weeks ago, "Oh, your English is very good. What did you learn English?" Oh, it's only the national language. I feel like saying, you know what? Trump told this guy, the president of Liberia, that his English was real good. I'm like, that makes one of them. Trump can barely speak English himself. Morning, Scott Clower. What's up? Alyssa Pietrovs. Alyssa Pietrovs is with us. How do you say that in American? Petrows? Pietrows? Sixth grade? I don't know. He makes W look like a wordsmith. Yeah, releases college records too. When are we going to see those? You know, that would be hysterical to watch. Trump's college fucking. You know, he won't release that. It'd be roundly booed and ridiculed for being a bonehead like he is, like anybody. You know, he's smart enough to take advantage of people who are stupider than him. That's really what's going on. Trump is very good at fanning the flames of the idiot base. That's, you know, all you have to do is watch what goes on when anything comes up that is potentially hurtful. He deflects and it reminds the idiots that elected him why they elected him. Right? Oh, immigration. Oh, Biden did it. Oh, weak. How's it going in Ukraine, buddy? Remember when he was going to end the war the first day? Never would have happened if I'd have been president. Never would have happened. No, it would have happened earlier, and they'd already be in France by now, probably. Is that what his degree's in? Economics? Wait, he's just so into tariffs, and I haven't worked since the 1800s. And before, right? The last time tariffs made any sense was when there was no tax coming in America, no income tax, no sales tax. You know, now it's like, yeah, okay. And he's just using it to bully little countries. That's all he's doing. How's it working with China? It's not, because those people are better at the game than him. They're smarter. He's trying to say he's smart because his uncle was smart? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. He thinks he's a smart guy. He thinks he's good looking. He's never been good looking. All of these old videos are coming out. There's one on hit my Facebook feed today where Barbara Walters just fucking smokes him out, just absolutely slays him. Won't take any shit from him. Every time he says something, she's like, I checked all of them. No, that's wrong. Yeah, one after the other. She absolutely smokes him when he had to sell the plaza, I think, because he was almost bankrupt. She burned him so fucking hard. And all she's doing is spending his time trying to get back at people like that now. He's so petty and shitty. He chose economics off the bargain ranks. Certainly didn't earn it. Yeah, I don't know what he earned and what he didn't. I just know he won't release the records because he's probably a fucking C student, if that. He probably had to get nursed through. And speaking of wordsmiths, my guy, Silver the wordsmith is with us. Caleb with the curl is with us. One for each of you. Donna Crawford. Kathy D, 1759. Lucham 312. What's going on, people? How are you? Tickle me Pookie. Tickle me Pookie. I love it. I'll tickle you. Where are you? I don't mind. What does that mean? Tickle me Pookie. I say that every night to my Pookie. Tickle me. Tickle me there. Don't tickle me there. Yeah, so probably going to get off at 11:30 because I got a lot of crap to do. Am I going to be able to not get kicked off this week? Outlook good, it says. Outlook good. The 8-ball, yes, more reliable than Jeebus. More reliable than the made-up God, because at least you get a variety of answers here. There's like a bunch, right? Cannot predict. Now let's ask it a question. Is the 8-ball more reliable than the Bible? Signs point to yes. See, there you go. And there's like a 9-sided die or whatever it is in there that's got like 9 answers. You know what you hear? I love this one. Yeah, I am holding it. It does exist. And if I lose it, I can go get another one. Not the store. Love the 8-ball. Magic 8-ball. I have an idea of going as the magic 8-ball and like making my entire bald head like glossy black like this, and painting a circle with an 8 on it, and then putting one of these things in my mouth, like break one, wash the poison ink off of it, and put it in my mouth, right? And then go around. People can ask me questions, and I can randomly show an answer as the 8-ball. Wouldn't that be a funny Halloween costume? My ex-girlfriend, who was black, like was not going to let me do that because it was blackface. I'm like, what? Really? I think we're confusing things here. But isn't that fun? I think it would be a funny Halloween costume. Pair of dark glasses, and maybe even just like a black ski mask, one of those black overall ski masks. I wouldn't have to use the paint. I wouldn't have to get grease paint on me, and I wouldn't have to shave the white goatee. But I think that'll be a funny, a funny Halloween costume. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, people talk about how God always answers prayers. You hear Christians and religious and idiots say this: God always answers prayers. Yes, no, or wait. Okay, so the Almighty Creator of the universe and everything we see can only answer mutely in three different ways. Yeah, that's the stupidest thing I ever hear. I hear stupid things from Christians all the time. I hear, well, prayer must always be accompanied by action. What? Well, yeah, that's like saying a glass of water must always be accompanied by water, because without it, it doesn't do anything. Like what? Yes, okay. So you've just admitted that prayer by itself is completely fucking useless. Trump claims his uncle taught the Unabomber. Taught him what? Like at school, like was having to be a teacher of his, or was it his fault then? I mean, I'm not sure. You don't have to shave. Use glue to cover it up. What do you mean glue? John K. Hansen, all caps. Oh, I love a guy with all caps. You get a big toot. Well, we know that he'll say anything. He doesn't care. Like literally, most of the shit that comes out of his mouth, and it's not even close, is a lie. The Native Atheist, yes. Well, finally got someone joining me on YouTube. What's going on? How are you? Yes, join us on YouTube if you have any access to YouTube at all. And if you got on TikTok, I know you can get on YouTube. There's a bunch of you here. Go over to YouTube and follow if you haven't already. Need to get to 1,000. Makeup glue stick. But why is it glue? It's just a grease paint pencil, no? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure why it would be glue. Remember the lady who thought that Gorilla Glue was hair product and like pasted her hair to her head with Gorilla Glue and had to have her scalp removed? Remember that? That was great. Nona, what's up? Nona just got to be the number 3 gifter. I love it. Thank you for that. Ilus Plantano, I missed your name. Talbot joined. What's up? One for each of you there. And YouTube is it looks like they're so jealous of TikTok in their own way, right? It looks like the comments have added, maybe that's number 1, number 2, gifting. I don't know what that is. There's another little icon following people's names who are on YouTube. But yeah, go to Atheist Underground on YouTube and follow, please. Even if you don't ever watch, please go follow. Thomas the Train hat. No, it's just a generic Choo Choo Charlie old style engineer hat. But thanks, Tommy Boy 69. Tommy Boy. You guys like Tommy Boy? Terrible movie. All my buddies used to love those terrible Chris Farley movies, and I like Chris Farley, was funny, but Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, those movies are so stupid. Got no time for it. Rachel Siguenza. ¿Cómo está Rachel Siguenza? Ron Popeil had spray on. He probably invented that hair. True story. I used to work for his daughter, Pamela Popeil, and she lived in Chicago. Had a nice house, and we used to do landscaping for her back in the day. The Tubbs is back. Throw us a word. The Harriet Tubman's S is back with us. We need more. Hi, Harriet. Wow. Hi, you. Over 18 only. Who dis? Harriet Tubman's cousin. Are you Harriet Tub? Are you the Tubbs' cousin? Tony Bologna. I love it. Tonya Bologna. That's the word. That's the name of the day. Tonya Bologna. Tu Italiano? Tonya. What's up, Nona? Thanks for the likes, people. Love you. Appreciate it. Not many of you on here, but banging the like button away. Yeah, I'm so banned on TikTok. They don't want to share my shit with anybody. And that's, again, why do you think Trump is not? He keeps on letting TikTok stay alive because he gets something out of it, right? He reached a lot of young people, a lot of incels, a lot of disenfranchised young white men voting for Trump, right? Because he gives them he empowers their hate. I hate society so much for shitting on me. Grow a set. God, just, you know what? I don't know. I don't get any of that. Insecurity. and this feeling of disenfranchisement. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, white men are taking a lot of the blame for. They deserve a lot of the blame for shit, right? It doesn't mean they still can't be useful. Some of us are trying to use our white privilege for good shit, right? I do it all the time. Speaking of which, I need money for my. I got like 3 tickets and 2 parking tickets and a speeding ticket. That's like $271. I feel like I'm gonna have to pay. No, 220, almost $300 in a speeding ticket through Virginia. Got busted in Virginia. $70 just in fees. Just an add-on, $20. This is $20 for Hillsville, Virginia. Nice guy. Cop was a nice guy. Looks like I got till September to pay, so I have to save it up, put a little money out of every paycheck to be able to pay that fucking ticket. Yeah, they nailed me, and I do speed. I can't. I couldn't. All I could do was pull over. He caught me, 85 and a 65. Oh. Yeah. And here in Kenosha, they've made it the mid to lakefront really nice, and then they've taken away a bunch of parking. And so people want to enjoy the lake on the 4th, and it looks like parking, but it's not. And then they rate you a ticket. It's kind of shitty, kind of evil. It's not good. I'm not about it. Don't like it. Katie's in Wisconsin. Where at? Here's fun. We're on for Wisconsin. We're hotboxed in. We got Ron Johnson and a Republican fucking government that beats back the Democratic governor. Oh, you're in West Bend, not that far. I love it. I'm in Kenosha here. Yeah, West Bend, famous for its little clocks. When I was growing up, everybody had a West Bend clock next to the bed. Before the days of even analog, remember the old clock alarm? That was a radio. Like, when we first got one of those, and it had a digital, not a digital readout, but it didn't have hands, right? It had numbers, and they would flip over. They would click over and flip over before they got digital ones. That's how old I am. But yeah, we used to, before that, it's like, man, grandma had a West Bend clock on the bedstead next to the bed on the bed on the nightstand, right? And it had radium dial. You know, wind up the back and set the alarm, and then with everything was mechanical, right? But yeah, West Bend. Name for the river. The river have a bend there? Because there's a big bend too. Floppy clocks were super high tech. That was so cool. We were like, it was badass. I think probably 5th, 6th grade when I got one of those. Back to the last time I ever needed an alarm to wake up for school. I think I did not. I don't use alarms. I don't need them. If my brain, I don't sleep deep enough, and if my brain knows that I gotta be somewhere, I wake up. Cannot remember the last time I needed an alarm for anything other than taking that pizza out of the oven. I got a phone for that. Yeah, right. We'll say hey to West Bend. I don't get there very much. It's a little north for me. All right, gonna hang out for a few more minutes. I appreciate you people. It's 11:24, and I'm gonna try to get some videos back up again. And there's an art fair today. Downtown Kenosha is so nice these days, and that's why I got a parking ticket. Everybody wants to go, and there's no place to park. And it's a revenue grab, but there's always a festival. It was a pop-up beer garden yesterday, and a couple of bands, really good bands. And Taste of Wisconsin will be here next week. We get the Ren Fair down in Bristol. You guys like Ren Fairs? Yeah, I'm a cosplay guy, so not like historically, like I don't spend time doing cosplay, but I'm an actor, so I don't mind dressing up. Got a million costumes. So I usually throw down and do something for the Ren Fair. I want to go as Robin Hood, because my buddy looks like Friar. I got a buddy who looks so much like Friar Tuck, it's not even funny. And he got a robe. He got like a brown robe with a rope belt, flagon of mead. Drunken Friar Tuck. Try or fuck. Washington County Fair is next weekend. Yeah, it's County Fair time coming around. I don't even know. They're so disappointing these days. The Racine one and the Kenosha one. If you're not into the 4-H stuff and going to see them, that heifer, want to check out the heifers and the hogs and the tractor pull. They're just shitty midways with like old sad bands. Everclear was it was like 5 years ago. Everclear is so has been now. They do have a lot of problems. I feel bad for them, but That's where you see like bands like that, right? They're showing up at the county fair off in buttfuck Egypt. What did I do yesterday? Oh man, it rained real hard in the middle of the day. So in the morning we went to the farmers market, which again downtown Connecticut got a farmers market that's just killer. It's absolutely great. All the best looking people, all nice goods, different varieties of foods and crafts and special interests. And there's even a nunnery. There's the nuns of the Abbey of Saint Roger. They're French, so I say it like that. For the people of Saint Rogers, right? But it's Saint Roger, and oh, they have good food. They have good food. I don't even mind giving them money because it's the only place you can get a good baguette in the entire state. I'm sure. Um, so I went to went there in the morning. I tried to do some work, but it rained on me. And then in the afternoon, the GF and I we walked along the lakefront. There's a sculpture walk. There was a pop up beer garden. We made some homemade food. We ate some food on the street. We watched some TV, chilled, cuddled. It was great. It was a fucking great day. Chevelle played Washington County Fair 2 years. I don't know what Chevelle is. What is that? Chevelle. Is that a band? Chevelle rock band. Huh. They're at the rave. September 11th at the rave. What kind of music? Is it just straight up rock and roll, kind of metal, hard rock? What is it? I've never heard of Chevelle. And I'm a guy who I hear a lot of music, but it's not like today. There was a lot of music. Wesley Curry too. No time to talk about that real bread 4 months ago from Jesus. Allah, what are we talking about? Oh, we got a nut job. Wesley Curry, yes. I guess the reality of bread sent to you by Jesus and his angels 4 months ago escaped your reality. After all, if it's not on TV, it must do. Take off the tinfoil hat, Wes. What the hell is that? You get these guys, like if you're I don't know, if you're making the videos or you're a creator on these things, you get comments from people who are just like wacky. I got one that keeps saying, you guys see the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Antichrist and Jim Caviezel is and somebody else, and it just like it's spam, right? But it doesn't even make any sense. Chevelle is a 2000s alternative band with heavy shoegaze influence. Pretty awesome. I'll have to look into that. Thanks, Save Awesome Studio. What's up, my guy? Matt's with us. Where you been, dude? Haven't seen you in a minute. The tinfoil hat hides my bald spot. Yeah, you're right, because there's no other hats, This hat hides my balls. We call it a bald spot. The whole head's a bald spot, damn it. Sven, what's up, Sven? You Viking. Mount Laurel, hey girl. How you been? Mount Laurel's with Queen Shirley joined. Katie calls it hard rock. Matt calls it alternative. Let's see what why isn't it? And they're from Grays Lake. They're from Grays Lake, Illinois. Chevelle is an American rock band formed in Grays Lake, Illinois. This is Wikipedia. Pete Loeffler. Dean Bernardini, Pete and Sam Loeffler. Hard rock alternative metal. Okay. There you go. That's alternative. Doesn't say alternative metal to me, but I guess it's a thing. Yeah. All right. Not a lot of yeah, I don't really do metal and hard rock very much. And one of the only types of music that doesn't really speak to me. I like subtlety and harmony a little too much in my music to go for the headbang and stuff, but once in a while. Good, Laurel. Glad to see you here. Dog cat. What are you, Ren and Stimpy over here? Cat dog. Oh, that's a different cartoon. There was a Ren and Stimpy's in my head because there was a trivia question about Ren and Stimpy. What was Stimpy's last name? What was Cat? Stimson J. Cat, right? You're going to remember Cat Dog? Cat Dog. Cat Dog. All right. Well, I'll take a look at Chevelle. I like that they're from Grays Lake. That's down the road. It's some bragging rights, right? That's cool. 95 to present. When brothers Pete Loeffler and Sam Loeffler started enjoying and learning to play music, that sounds like a self-written Wikipedia, doesn't it? ay, ay. Okay. Did they have a Chevelle in the garage? What kind of name is that? And Renhook? What's Renhook? Uh, uh. Tygansky. What's up, man? Thanks for the gifts. Appreciate you people. Appreciate you people. Every once in a while, like YouTube releases TikTok releases like 50 cents to me. Enjoy you omnibar codes. Let me tell you something, Wesley Curry. You're a nut. You're a nut job. You had a nut job with your tinfoil hat, scrolling YouTube and trolling, scrolling and trolling. That's what you're doing, buddy. I don't know. What's the real bread? I guess the reality of bread is sent to you by Jesus and his angels. Whenever I see caps, I scream them. If somebody's like laying out all caps, I scream it in my head to myself. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Does anyone else do that? I feel like I'm being yelled at. You grew up with Ren and Stimpy? Yeah, that's Ren's. Yeah, Ren Hook. Yeah, that's right. Where did they make up those names? What's Ren Hook? That sounds Dutch, right? Where's my guy, the flower man? Thought if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. He's not with us today. He split. He split. I'm gonna put some Chevelle on after this, man. You guys just turn me. I love live. I hear so much new music for a geezer. My girlfriend loves to go to shows. She's almost my age, but she likes punk and ska punk and psychobilly. And we went to an assload of concerts last year. Going to see Modest Mouse and Flaming Lips in about a month at the Salt Shed in Chicago. Psyched for that, people. You kidding me? Flaming Lips and Modest Mouse together. I feel like I'm real hip saying that, and then I realize that those dudes are almost my age too, if not. My age have like been around for a long time now. Those dudes, OG, alternative. Ska is the only genre as a whole you can't stand ska. What's with the ska hate, dude? Come on, man. Yeah, Psychobilly's good shit, right? And she's turned me on to a bunch of really good acts. And I don't know, it's like it's just fucking rockabilly played hard and fast, But yeah, no, a lot of fun. It's most old ska is a little poppy, and I'll say that for it. It's not, but it gave us reggae. Let's be honest. Gave birth to reggae, which I absolutely love. Big reggae fan. Bob Marley is God. If there's a God, it's Bob Marley. Oh, Bob Marley. Gone too soon. Nightmare. What's up? Nightmare is with us. Craig Balo. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. See what I mean? So you don't really hate Scott. It's good to see you, man. It's been a minute since you've been on. But I've been ignoring the talk. I haven't made a video in a coon's age, and so I'm gonna have to go do that. That's an old timey expression. I don't want to hear anything from you people about the word please. It's the one thing about me, I'll never be woke. And wokeness gave us Trump, didn't it? This is the reason we have this asshole. They couldn't beat a certified crazy person because wokeness is so fucking offensive to people. It's like, you know what? Even if you're right, just shut up. Shut up. It was a joke. People can't take themselves so seriously. It's leading to disaster. And believe me, disaster is coming. And I'm old enough to now where I can kind of sit back and start to enjoy it. I'm like, you know what? I'm watching the world fall apart. I'm doing what I can to stave it back, and maybe I can stop it from happening. But I watch the news because it's fascinating to see what kind of fucking complete fucking nutbaggery goes on these days. Use a lot of numbers. Get a username. Really? Is that what's up? I think people are like using TikTok and they don't want even a made up name out there. Somebody will track me down. No picture, no made up name. You find an icon that you think is fun. Montana Valkyrie. I love that. Darla. It's like a tire fire. You're farming? You got ducks again? You're raising ducklings in your house and farming? How do you farming in a Buffalo suburb? Working hemp jobs? That sounds good. Oh, temp jobs. Nice. Trying to build the stable awesome back up. Yeah, no, I don't know. If I just like so enchanted with TikTok, I was just like, all right. And I got busy with other stuff and don't really care, don't really care. So I'm waiting for it to go away. I don't want to empower them to use their algorithm to help Agent Orange fuck the world up. They're literally the stupidest man who's ever been president. I don't know how you think any differently than that. Won't release his college. Can you imagine when the Trump library gets built? What's going to be in that piece of shit? Dean Blunt forever. What's up? Stangle 52. What's up? Oh, you're on what? Thanks for the heart hat thing, my friend. Appreciate you. Heart me. That's what it is. It's the heart me. X Winnow. Somebody joined. User a lot of numbers is back. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm gonna blast off though. Got shit to do here. Went a little longer than I thought I was gonna. Appreciate all you gang. Look forward to making some more content that you can all enjoy. And please follow us on YouTube. Go to YouTube and follow Atheist Underground so I can get myself to 1,000 followers and stop fucking talking about it. All right. Thank you, Katie. You have a good one too. One more toot for you. One more toot for all y'all. Remember, stay clear of he gets me. He gets us. He didn't get shit. He's dead. Bring secular thought back. It's all we have. I'm alive because of scientists, not because I prayed to God to take away my cancer. I'm alive because of chemical advances, and I wouldn't have been 100 years ago or even 50 years ago, probably. It's all we have. Yeah, you're right. The American secularists with a point at the end. I love it. Until the majority of Supreme Court, House, and Senate is filled with atheists, churches ruin it. And that's what they count on. Trump doesn't care. He doesn't care about church. He doesn't care about Jesus. He doesn't care about God. He doesn't care about religion. He cares about using stupid people to get what he wants. All right? Love you guys. That's all I got to say. Gonna give it 30 seconds for this delay.
we start seeing more plants. I know exactly.
Hey, look, it doesn't cost anything to believe in Jesus Christ, our God. Yes, it does. It costs you your intellectual integrity. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Hey, look, it doesn't cost anything to believe in Jesus Christ, our. Hey, look, it doesn't cost anything to believe in Jesus Christ, our God. Hey, look, it doesn't cost anything to believe in Jesus Christ, our God. Yes, it does. It costs you your intellectual integrity. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Hey, look, it doesn't cost anything to believe in Jesus Christ, our God. Yes, it does. It costs you your intellectual integrity. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Hey, look, it doesn't cost anything to believe in Jesus Christ, our God. Yes, it does. It costs you your intellectual integrity. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Hey, look, it.
Exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing, and.
Hey, look, it doesn't cost.
Hi, Dan. My name is Mike.
Podrás humillarme en el fútbol, pero aquí me la pelas. Amárrese los pinches huevos que quejándose nunca se logra nada.
¡Órale! ¡Qué linda plaquita tienes ese! Deberías estar conmigo, no peleando conmigo, carnal.
No me llames carnal, pedazo de mierda.
¡Órale! ¡Qué linda plaquita tienes ese! Deberías estar conmigo, no peleando conmigo, carnal.
No me llames carnal, pedazo de mierda.
¡Órale! ¡Qué linda plaquita tienes ese! Deberías estar conmigo, no peleando conmigo, carnal.
No me llames carnal, pedazo de mierda.
¡Órale! ¡Qué linda plaquita tienes ese! Deberías estar conmigo, no peleando conmigo, carnal.
No me llames carnal, pedazo de mierda.
¡Órale! ¡Qué linda plaquita tienes ese! Deberías estar conmigo, no peleando conmigo, carnal.
No me llames carnal, pedazo de mierda.
¡Órale! ¡Qué linda plaquita tienes!
Ginger, cookie.
Es solo un perro, decían. Y sí, es solo un perro. Porque solo ellos serían capaces de tanto. Capaces de salvarte en tus peores momentos. Y de enseñarte también sin decir ni una sola palabra. Porque solo ellos podrían enseñarte qué es el amor incondicional. Les da igual cómo seas, dónde vivas o cómo vivas. Porque para ellos siempre serás todo su mundo. Ellos solo pasan un ratito por nuestra vida, pero la huella que dejan es para siempre. Quizás sí para muchos sea solo un perro, pero para mí son una de las mejores cosas que hay en la vida. Con ellos la vida será diferente, con ellos la vida es magia.
Dos, tres, nada. Hay que dar una, dos, tres. Eso. Muy bien, Ginger. Ginger, cookie.
Es solo un perro, decían. Y sí, es solo un perro, porque solo ellos serían capaces.
Culeros que andan hablando mal de la familia, mándalos a chingar a su madre con miserias. Seré pendejo, pero no pendejo de nadie, ni voy a ser pendejo de ustedes. Por eso, la mayoría de la gente que tiene pedos conmigo es por eso, porque no me dejé pisotear, no me dejé que hicieran conmigo lo que les dio la pinche gana. Y la pinche familia que anda mame y mame, que anda hablando mal de mí, es porque no me dejé o no quise dejarme de sus pinches mamadas. Chinguen a su madre, Culeros que andan hablando mal de la familia.
Dios sabe lo que hace, Dios nos protege.
Y